Nick, we have been putting a ton of content out and talking a lot about how we're changing the conversation internally and externally because of the market. So let's talk a little bit more about what that looks like and why.
Yeah, I mean, I think we got to start with why it's important to have this conversation. Like the market's it's fluid, right? It's always changing. It never stays the same, and it has changed just over the last year. I think it's important to recognize that the market is shifting, and that with that shift, it creates a threat to our business. And there's something called the Stockdale paradox. You never want to lose hope. Hope fuels grit, but you never want to confuse that with addressing the brutal facts that what was yesterday is not today. If you're closing deals consistently, or you had been closing deals consistently, it can go away very quickly in this industry.
Right.
You got to let go of the good times. The sooner you realize that the market's changed, the better. You know, look, we just came out of the biggest boom in real estate history. We all were a product of the market.
Right.
Veteran agents, newer agents, we were all a product. We all had the wind at our backs.
Everybody was
crushing. And that's gone, right? So now it's harder because there's less business to be had out there. So we need to be changing the conversation so that we can keep up. And just it starts with addressing the fact that it's not yesterday, it's not last year, it's not 2 years ago. The wind's no longer at our backs. So what do we need to, that moves into what we need to do and what that conversation should be in order to change your business, change how you're going about things.
So it's like the other saying, like, easy times make weak men. And in this scenario, it's weak men and women and businesses.
Business models,
right?
Yeah.
Like everybody's been
resting on their laurels, right?
Just chilling out, letting deals flow towards them.
Fish were hopping into your boat.
And so now we got to change how we act.
Yes.
And so what are the things that you and Atlas is doing to change the way that we act?
So I've narrowed it down to 10 things that real estate agents can be doing that are tangible to change the conversation and take different action in a changing marketplace. And the first one is stay alert. I think we need to become products and students of the market, not products of the market, sorry. I think we need to become students of the market,
right?
And become the economist, the real estate economist expert to your tribe. So how much time are you blocking in your week learning about what's going on, and more importantly, how you can effectively communicate that with your database so that you can effectively position them in the marketplace.
The other question there is, who else are you collaborating with internally in your team, your company, et cetera, that is also doing that, so you can compare notes and have more data to be able to bring to your clients?
Definitely. Number two really is be a list builder and a pipeline mover, which we talk about quite a bit here at Atlas. There's two things you should be doing daily. You should be building your database by networking, getting out there, being present in your community, being present in your databases. And then you should be adding value consistently and changing how you're adding value. Everybody knows 2 to 3 real estate agents,
at
right?
least.
So how are you continuing to provide value to your database? How are you moving them along? And how are you building that database? So that's something you should be doing daily.
And when it comes to that, like, this isn't something new, right? Like, we as a real estate industry have been talking about adding people to a database and moving them along in the database, turning C's to B's and B's to A's forever, right? Yeah. I think what we're saying now is that we now need to double down on that action, right?
Yeah, it's narrowing your focus. Like, your focus day in, day out should be, how am I building my database and how am I adding value to those people?
And
that's it.
There's so many ways to build people in a database, and there's all kinds of personality types for different kinds of ways to build that database, right? Like, for me, it's an in-person thing, right? Like, it's either a networking event, being on a board, going out and going to events or Main Street events or whatever that is. And for some people, that's not their gig. They like social media or whatever. There's always a way to build.
It's different for everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah. The third thing is sharpening your positioning expertise and your value proposition. I just said that everybody knows 2 to 3 real estate agents. More real estate agents than ever have been in the real estate industries. Now, we'll see some contraction because of the market conditions, but everybody knows 2 to 3 different real estate agents. What makes you different? Why should people do business with you? We need to be spending time sharpening that value proposition and differentiating ourselves.
And communicating that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, what makes you different is the reason that they're going to choose you over the other 2 or 3 there that they know.
And how are you putting it out there, right? The fourth thing is sharpening your professional development skills. So there is more pressure now on keeping deals together. And we just came out of a market where there wasn't that kind of pressure. Like you got an offer and there wasn't a whole lot of inspections, appraisals were going through, there wasn't a whole lot of threats. So what are you doing to sharpen your professional development skills so that you can anticipate, communicate, and find solutions faster so that your deals don't fall apart and you have this negative energy with buyers and sellers?
Yeah, and in this market, there's going to be more inspections. People are still kind of paying a lot, and they've got high interest rates. There's going to be a lot of tension in these transactions, and so when problems do arise, they could become pretty detrimental. So being a solution-based mindset and being able to find solutions and helping people find those solutions for themselves is going to be key.
And a lot of agents have gotten into this business where they didn't have to have those skills.
Right.
Now it's going to be as important as ever to spend time building those skills. The fifth one is broaden your reach and get loud. So everyone should hear from you. I mean, your database, your agents, other lenders, contractors, other professionals, other parents at the PTA, people in your gym. You need to get loud. You need to get comfortable getting on video. You need to increase your brand. Everyone should be increasing, broadening their reach.
And lots of, like we said, there's lots of ways to do that, but social media is a great way to do it.
Yeah, that's free too.
Yeah. Yep.
So this is how and what, this gives teeth to how you change the conversation. These are things that you could actually tangibly be doing to change that conversation into a changing marketplace.
And just looking through everything that we prepared for today, like this is only a small piece of really what you should be looking at.
Well, there's conceptual and then there's tangible, and this was stuff these are steps that people could actually take.
Right.
Versus concept or mindset, which is all still very important, but we also want to make sure there's things that people can be doing, like physically doing.
Of course.